Hello everyone, welcome back to yet another important video. This is our sixth video in the topic, and we are going to discuss few more questions in this. So till now we have discussed multiple and frequently asked theoretical type of SQL questions, and we have also solved some of the most repeatedly asked practical questions. So we are going to see a few more, and let us get started without wasting much time. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. So the first question in this video that we are going to discuss, this is a little different topic. Like we will see more about data manipulation concepts. Okay, and first thing is first question is about DML commands, right? So we might get question related to that. So first thing is like say, what are the DML commands available? Okay, so we have create statement that is available. We have read statement or select statement that is available. So we are update and delete. So these four statements I'm talking about. Suppose to create a statement, first we need is create a table, right? And then we want to insert the data into that particular table, right? So now how are we going to insert into table? We are going to insert it using a keyword called as insert, and then we are going to use a keyword called as into, and then table name, whatever the table we have created. So in this, so I'm writing this as student. So then you have to specify the columns that are there in the table. Let's say in student, you have a column called as name, ID, and age. I'm just going to write that. Okay. And then for those columns, what are the values that you are going to pass? Like say, I'm just following the hierarchy here. Okay. And two. So let's say 20. So now what it will do is for this student table, for these three columns, ID will be 1, name will be mapped to John, and age will be 20. This is something, this is how this insert command will work. Now, same thing, if at all I want to retrieve a record, how will I do? I will write simple select star from student. Okay, suppose I want to update age, how will I do? Okay, select. So we have seen about inserting, we have seen about select. Same thing, if at all I want to see about update, how will I do update table name? So what is my table name? Student. I want to set age, maybe age is equal to 25, where ID is equal to 1. Now, if you remember here in the above statement for ID 1, we have inserted age as 20. But now what are we doing for this ID 1? We are updating age is equal to 25. That is how we can update statement in the table. Same thing, if at all I want to delete a record, how will I do? Delete from table name. What is the table name? Student is my table name, right? Where ID is equal to 1. Now, what are we doing in this? From a student table, where my ID is 1, I am deleting that particular record. So always remember, whenever you are writing a delete statement, we need to have a where so that it can specify what are the records you are going to filter. This is something that we need to know. Now let us learn more about insert statement here, because insert is very important, so that in real time whenever you get an opportunity you can write. Suppose I want to insert. How can I write? There are multiple ways. One is insert into, maybe EMP table. I will write values. So this we have seen. Like say, this is one method, right? So what are we doing here? If you observe here in this, I am just trying to write stud table name, and I'm also specifying the columns. Okay, and then I'm just specifying the order of that column, which means what? In this table, if there are more than these columns, it is not bothered, because you are specifying what are the columns you are trying to enter, and it will follow the chronology, like first ID, second, like this. Okay, if you're not specifying anything here, it will expect that you are writing for all of them. So you can write it this way also, like say one. Okay, maybe same thing, if at all I want to write, I can write like this also, student, then values, I will write same thing here I can follow. This is one method, right? So this is your first method where you can specify what are the columns you need, and without that column names also you can write. Okay, up to you. Now let's say you want to specify only these two. Age you don't know, that also you can do. So you can write something like this also. Insert into, student. I want to enter only ID and name. Those two columns only. Then what values? I can write 1 comma 2, something like this also I can write. Okay, so it will take this value also. This is also valid. This is also valid. This is also valid. Now, whatever the format you feel comfortable, whatever the format you think is needed in your case, you can follow. But just remember this multiple approaches. Okay, so uh, multiple inserts, how can I do here? Like say multiple inserts I want to do. So single row insert we have seen in this. Okay, multi-row inserts. Same thing, all you need to do is just write this. Okay, insert into or else we'll follow this. Okay, now these three columns we are trying to specify, and then after this you just need to write values, and then here you can simply enter the values here, whatever the values you want. So here I'll write 2, 3, some random number I am giving here. So here you can close it. So whenever you are giving this semicolon, it is the end of the line. Okay, SQL will consider that this is the end of the line and it will execute all of this together. Okay, so that is how you can enter values for multi-row inserts. So single row inserts we have seen, multi-row inserts we have seen. Both are important. Now let us see about our third question here: update records. Update is something that we keep doing it all the time. What is update? Update is something that you are updating a record in the existing table, right? How can we do here? So in this update statement, update is a keyword that we need to remember. Okay, followed by table name. Okay, so assume emp is my table name. Update employee, set salary is equal to 52,000. Example. Okay, where you need to specify to which record you want to specify. So here I can specify where emp number is equal to whatever 7469, like that. Okay, you can specify the employee number or whatever the condition you want here, so that it can pick that record. Okay, so and this is very important statement, because if you have update statement, you need to ensure that you are first specifying only that condition, and you are not updating any other records. So you can also cross verify using the select statement, like say select uh, star from emp, where emp number is equal to, you give 7469, and check how many records you are getting, because that is the condition you are specifying here. So basing on this, you will know how many records are available for this particular employee number, and is that the records that you want to update here. So that way you can ensure you are not updating other records. So you have to eliminate all the unnecessary records and update only those. Okay, so select plays a very important role. Suppose this is for maybe like say one record you are updating, or one column you are updating, which means only salary column you are updating, right? You want to update multiple columns. How will you do? Same update emp set salary is equal to 55,000, and maybe department number also I want to update. Department number is equal to 10, where emp number is equal to 7469. So what are we doing in this? We are updating multiple records here. for the same condition. Again, how will you ensure that you are not doing for anything else? You are just checking how many records are there with this condition, because this is a condition you are giving. If you feel that there are more than one records and you need to update only a specific records, you can follow it by writing and maybe some other condition, like say manager number is equal to, okay, maybe 555 5566, something like this. So whatever the manager he is under, only for that employee you want to update. So you will write like this and select a statement to ensure only that record is coming, and basing on that you will update the records. Okay, so first you need to verify it with select a statement, and once you feel that okay it is working fine, then you can put on update statement. This is something that is very important. Next is, okay, we have seen about select, we have seen about insert, we have seen about update. Obviously, after this, we will get about delete statement. Okay, so means what? Deleting a specific row or a record from the table. So always, like I said, in delete, you will always get where condition. We cannot delete everything. Okay, delete from EMP where EMP number or department number is equal to 10. Now it will delete all those employees who belong to department number 10. Okay, so you want to, this is for a specific department you're deleting. You want to delete all the records, then you can simply use a truncate table EMP. So what this will do, this will delete all the rows from the table, all or all records from the table. It is very important for us. So update statement, how we can do it for single column or multiple columns, delete again for a specific condition or for the entire table. Same insert for one column, specific columns, multiple rows. Okay, we have seen important points here. Okay, so next important question is about the keys that we always need to know. Okay, your primary key and foreign key. So many times you will get question about, like say, what is foreign key and what is primary key. Primary key means what? Primary key is a column that is set on a column that uniquely identifies each row in the table. Like say you are specifying, suppose you have employee number. Okay, you have employee name, you have department number. Okay, now you need to understand what kind of data is expected in these columns. So employee number is something that should be unique in nature, like our phone numbers, right? So they should be unique, it cannot be repeated, like, which means no two employees can have same employee number, right? So which means what, you need to have a unique column on this. So you can set up a unique constraint or primary key column, which will ensure that it is uniquely identified. Uniquely identifies each row in a table and ensures that there is no duplicate. That's the purpose of primary key. Now, same thing, if it, what is foreign key? Foreign key establishes a relationship here. Okay, so relationship with multiple tables or different tables. Now, when you're creating table, how will we, specify? Like, say, I want to create a table, and maybe create a table called as DEPT. Okay, I'm opening a bracket. We will specify department ID. Okay, what is the data type you want? Integer I want, and then you need to specify whether it is a primary key or a foreign key, comma primary key I'm specifying, and then department name I'm specifying. Department name I want varchar. Okay, and I'll just, and then I'll just simply close the bracket. So this will create a table called as a department table with a department ID being a primary key. Okay, so here you can specify primary key, what is a foreign key, and all you can specify. Okay, so that's about primary key and foreign key. And then we spoke about unique uh, constraint. Unique constraints ensures that all the column, like whatever the column you have, is unique in that nature. Okay, there are no duplicates. Okay, it allows uh, or it maintains uniqueness in that. So how can we ensure? Again, like say while creating only, we will specify kibos, create table. Okay, maybe again department. Okay, so department ID. So I'll give integer. Okay, primary key we will specify. Okay, and department name we are giving varchar. Okay, and suppose we have another column called as uh, department email. Okay, I'm giving again varchar. Okay, and I want this to be unique, something like this I can give. Okay, so this will ensure that this is unique here. Okay, so this ensures that no two columns have the same email address. Okay, so that's about, or we can write employee email. Okay, and I will ensure that it will ensure that for employee no emails are being repeated. So that's the purpose of unique constants. What is not null constraint? We have seen about unique constraint. What is not null? Not null constraint ensures that that column is not null. Okay, or there is always some records in that. Whenever it is being created or inserted, it will always ensure that you are entering some value in that. Like say department ID is there. You have to ensure that department ID is always present. Without that, your record is void or it is not, valid. Then what will you do? We will specify it as a not null constraint, which means what? Every time you insert some records into this, it will always check that, there is some value in these specific columns. So that is the important constraint. That is the important thing. So how can we check here again while creating, let's say I'm creating a table called as department. Okay, department ID is there. Okay, so department ID, it is integer. Primary key we have already given here, comma. Department name is there. I don't want this column to be null. So what will I do here? Department name, I don't want this to be null at any cost. So I'll specify not null. So this is the constraint that we are specifying on this particular column, like say department name. So it will always ensure that there is some value in this. Okay, varchar 100. So this is also you can write here. Okay, so we have seen how we can write create unique constants and not null constants. These are very important. And whenever you create your tables, you need to ensure if any of your columns require this. Okay, so primary key you need to check, foreign key you need to check, unique constants you need to check, not null you need to decide. Okay, so you need to decide based on the data type you are expecting in this column. Basing on that, you need to do same. Likewise, we have seen about unique constant, we have seen about not null constant, and then we also have check constant. Okay, check constraint means what? It check constraints means it has to follow a specific condition that you are specifying here. Okay, that example I'll show it with an example so that you can understand here. Suppose you are creating a table called as emp. Okay, so in this, what are the columns you have? You have columns called as employee ID. Okay, maybe it is of integer type for me and it is primary key. Okay, I'll specify primary key, comma, and then you are writing e name. Okay, employee name. So what should be the data type? Varchar should be the data type. You are specifying some length for this, right? And then what I am specifying an age here. Okay, age is of integer, but here I am giving condition to this column. Okay, so what is the condition? Check condition I am giving. Check what when you are entering a age, is it greater than or equal to 18, and it is age less than or equal to 65, which means what? Your employees should fall within this range, then only it is acceptable. Otherwise, that record will get omitted. Okay, so that is how the table will get created. Now, if at all I want to update a record, how will I do? Insert. Okay, insert into EMP. Okay, so what are the columns we are specifying? We are specifying EMP ID, ename, and age we are specifying, right? So now after that values, I'm trying to specify some values in that. So employee ID is one. Okay, name I'm trying to give. Okay, I'm giving like say Thor, and age 35 I'm giving, or whatever 34 I'm giving. Now this record will get inserted or will succeed because the condition you are giving here. What is the condition? Age should be greater than 18 and it should be less than 65. So what is the age we gave? 34. So this will get inserted. Same regard if I give again here. Okay. But here age I am giving like say 15. This record will get errored out because it is not satisfying the condition. Okay, so that is what this check constant ensures. Okay, that it is following the condition you are specifying. So now you might get question here about primary key and unique key, because in both of the statements we said that okay, array we wanted it is unique in nature, right? We said it is both is unique in nature. Primary key and unique key. Both are unique in nature. That is the broader term, unique in nature. Okay. But what is the difference? Primary key does not allow null values and uniquely identifies a row. Whereas unique constant will write unique constants will write. Unique constant ensures unique values, but it allows one null value because again it is some value, right? It is not null means what? One time it is acceptable, not beyond that, because again if you have multiple null values, which means what? That is also getting repeated. So it should unique means what? By name it should be unique in nature. So one null value, okay, second time null value getting means it will error out. Primary key does not allow null. That is the difference you need to remember whenever you are specifying about or talking about primary key and unique key. Next is, this always, we might have got this question, what is a SQL view? Okay, or what is a view? View is nothing but a virtual table created from a SQL query. Simple. Okay, just remember a simple statement. A view is nothing but a virtual table created from a SQL query. It does not store data, but represents a data from more than one table. Okay, which means what? It does not store any data, but presents data from one or more than one table. So whenever that query get executed, it pulls the records and it gives you. It does not store. Unlike like table, In table means what? There is data present in that table. View is nothing but a SQL query executed, underline that. Now, if at all I want to create a view to show you how will I create, like say I want to create a view. Create a view called as EMP data. Okay, as select ename comma salary from EMP where salary is greater than 5,000. So you are creating a view called as employee data here. So what is the condition for that? You are creating employee data based on this SQL query, which means your view will have only data where salary is greater than that. Now, if at all, how will I query this view? Create a view, not it's simple create view. Okay, so querying will be again same statement, nothing same like how we do select a star from employee data you will do. That's it. Okay, so this is querying that view, not the table. Okay, so this is how it runs or creates the view. Next important question is again difference between delete, truncate, and drop. This is often or many times repeated. Okay, but still, no matter how many times it is repeated, we need to know the difference. Delete means what? Deleting a specific row or record from the table. Like say, like I already told you, whenever delete comes, where comes, right? And that is what we need to. Truncate means what? If at all you want to remove all the records from the table, in that condition you will use truncate. Drop means what? Completely it removes completely a table and its structure as well, which means what? It is going to delete your data, it is also going to delete the table. That difference you need to remember. So if at all I want to write a statement, how will I write? So delete statement we all know, right? Delete from EMP where salary is less than 1500. I want to delete all the records whose salary is less than 1500. You want to truncate a table, how will you do? Truncate table EMP. So this will remove all the records from EMP table. Delete only for specific condition. Drop means complete drop. Drop table EMP. So this is going to remove the data. This is going to delete the table structure as well. Okay. So that's the difference about delete, truncate, and drop. I hope you will remember this for now. Okay. So now let us see what are the different constraints we have as a last question. Different constraints available. Okay, these are very important. Okay, a constraint is what? If at all I want to talk about constraint, what is constraint? Constraint means a rule that you are trying to define. Okay, uh, rule on the column you are specifying. What is the column? I mean, you are trying to set. Like say, what are the different constraints we have? Not null constraints we have. What does it do? It ensures that there are no nulls in that specific column you are specifying. Same unique constraint means what? Unique columns, it ensures that it is unique in nature. Likewise, primary key is what we just discussed, identifies each row uniquely. Foreign key is helpful in establishing relationship with other tables. Check condition is what? Check constraint ensures the condition is satisfied. This is what we, these are the different constraints that are available. Okay. So that's it from my side in this video. I hope you have learned something new. If it does, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next video. Till then, bye bye, and have a good day.